One reason why people resist change is because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. Bryant McGreal said, whatever makes you uncomfortable is your biggest opportunity for growth. And Alan Cohen said, personal growth is not a matter of learning new information, but unlearning old limits. Richie Norton said, intentional living is the art of making our own choices before others' choices makes us. And then Simply Fiercely Plug once said that when we start replacing distractions with the things we love, that's when we start living with intention. Welcome to Motivational Life. And this is the year 2022. We are having the New Beginning Conference. And we have our guest with us in the studio today. Today is day 2 of the conference. We have Brenda Ringwood all the way from the USA. She's already in the studio. Please, my dear friends, make welcome Brenda.
Hi guys, how are you? It's been a cold day, cold week here in the state of Kansas where I'm from. I don't know what the weather is where you're at, John Bull, but it's cold here. So hopefully it's going to warm up a little bit for a few days. But you know, the word intentional means so much. It can be good, it can be bad, but the bottom line is it means to do it because you want to do it. So you can intentionally do good and you can also intentionally do bad. So for intentional living, we want to bring about intentional change that are good, positive changes. That's what this is about.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Brenda. And one very interesting thing is that Brenda has made this show possible. In fact, she has done so much work for this show to be possible. And I just want to use this opportunity to say to you, Brenda, thank you so much for the efforts you made for this conference to be possible. We are really grateful to you, and may God richly bless you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. It's always fun to do shows like this. It's always fun to, hear what other people's perspectives are, and it's what we're supposed to do. If we can't help others, then really why do we do anything? Because if you make life about yourself, that's just miserable. You're not going to be happy.
Now, today we are not going to waste any time. We are going straight ahead into the program. And I want to ask you, Brenda, you've been working with people, and you are even having a conference that's coming up in February. It's a
Hmm.
great conference, it's an international conference. So you've been working with people. I wanted to tell me something. In your relating with people, in your working with people, how has it enhanced your growth in your personal life? Or let me put it this way, does working with people help you to grow?
It does because working with people is exceptionally hard. It is hard because not everybody does things the way that you do it, but it forces you to have patience. It forces you to get to know them on a different level, and it also forces you to get to see things from a different viewpoint through somebody else's eyes. And when you do that, it opens your eyes to more possibilities, and it's a different way of thinking. So, you're limited if you're only going to deal with yourself, and you're limited if you're only going to deal with your family, and you're limited if you're only going to deal with a small group of your friends, but you're unlimited in the possibilities when you deal with the general public and the people, and those connections that you can make through that are powerful.
Brenda, I want to say something about you, Brenda. Every time you speak, every time you say something, I'm inspired. I tell you, I learn so much when you talk. You are an exceptional speaker. You are
Thank
world
you.
class. Oh yes,
I appreciate that.
that's true.
I've done it for many years. It's not my not my first time. I'm 53 years old, so I've been around the world a little bit.
You are good. Now, you said something just now that really touched me. You said when you are working with people, it helps you to learn patience. And
Mhm.
patience is not an easy virtue. You know, for me, sometimes I like to be impatient. Let me use that word. So, but it's very interesting when you said working with people helps you to be patient, teaches you to be patient. And one thing I know, sometimes people are not patient. They just want things to go their way. They want things to go the way they want it. Sometimes they don't even want to consider the other people or the other group or the other party or whatever they are going through. So, working with people, if you are going to work with people, you've got to learn to be patient. You've got to learn sometimes to slow down and work with them at their pace. And, it's very exciting working with people because it makes you to learn different cultures,
It
know
does.
how people from different places do things,
Mhm.
and all of that. So working with people is a great experience.
It's an
I would say
education.
that yes,
It's
it's
an
an
education.
education. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you're right, Brenda. It's education, working with people. So, my dear friends, my audience, those of you watching right now, or those of you that are going to watch the replay, I want to let you know that if you uh, want to grow in your business, you want to grow in your personal life, you want to grow in your relationship and all of that, you need to learn to work with people. It's one thing that will help you to grow faster, if you allow me to say that. Wow, the house is full already. We have a full house already. Wow, welcome, Maude, Jessica, Sarah. Wow, it's good to have you all. I'm so glad that you are able to make it today. Today, I think I need to move on to Jessica. You were not able to make it yesterday, and thank God you are here today. How are you, Jessica?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here as well. Technology's working. We're good. Yes, it's going to be a good day, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. So, Jessica, you were not with us yesterday. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I am, you can't tell it, but I am 6 foot tall. I am a mom. I'm a wife. I also am an author, speaker, and then I also have a health and wellness online business with Viseo. We actually partner with the nonprofit in Africa, helping with clean water wells, building clean water wells, Hearts and Hands for Humanity. So at some point, I'm going to be coming to Africa to do a humanitarian trip. So I look forward to hopefully getting to meet you.
Wow, yeah, that would be great. I'll be so, so, so excited to meet with you and to also do some projects with you. You said that you work with an humanitarian organization, something like that. I'm
Yes.
also into charity. I do so much of charity. I've spearheaded a lot of charity projects in Kenya, in Ghana, in South Africa, in a lot of countries in Africa, by the way. So it will be great to see you and to also do some projects with you. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I have some news on that. Uh, Sir Clyde Rivers has just been kinged in Ghana, and he has asked us to bring the Becoming the Best You conference to Ghana.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. So you guys
Wow.
watch for us over that way. I don't know. You said you get over there, but I'm not sure how far it is from where you currently are. We're possibly looking at September timeframe of this year.
Okay, September of this year. Okay,
Mhm.
and that will be in Ghana, right?
Yes, it's going to be in Ghana.
Okay, in Ghana. Okay. That's fine. That's cool. Ghana, it's not far from Nigeria. Ghana, it's very much accessible. So that's fine.
Yeah. It's nice to have a personal invite. He's going to set us up with a lot of folks that I think the majority of the stuff's going to be free to the folks of Ghana. So we're going to take the Becoming the Best You to them and show them, teach them what we know, and hopefully inspire around the world.
That's great. That's great, Brenda. Thank you so much. So let's go to Maude. Maude. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly, but if I'm not pronouncing it properly, forgive me, please. Maude, you are welcome to the program. Yesterday we were not able to make it, but thank God you are here live. It's so exciting to see you.
It's actually Maude. It's actually an old German name, family name. So I have grown up in the, people looking at me like I was crazy because my name is very, very old and very odd. So.
Well, you're neither old or odd, so.
No, well, I am odd. I admit to that freely. But it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. A little bit about me is I am a mom to an angel. She passed away in 2006. So I am a mom to a very large dog who is making himself known. I also work in event planning. I build websites. I've been working with Brenda to try and take care of putting together the Becoming the Best conference. So that's what I do. And always busy. Never fails to be busy. So, but I appreciate you actually asking me to come today. So thrilled to be talking to you and carrying on a conversation.
Wow, that's great. That's great. That's great. Sara, I'm going to come to you, but just hold on a little bit. Let me talk with Maude. Can you share with us, because this program is all about intentional growth, and sometimes you want to grow, but the circumstances surrounding you, the situation, the condition you find yourself does not help you to grow. So Maude, I wanted to share with us, how was your experience? How did you grow through the experience of having a child that had cancer? What was your experience? Was there any opportunity for you to grow in that situation?
It's difficult, for sure, but it's one of those things that you learn from the experience that you're in. I was fortunate to actually go, and instead of actually learning from adults, I learned from the kids that surrounded my daughter. Each one of them would come in and each one of them would have a unique experience, but literally all of them wanted to go play. So learning from that, I was like, it's great watching children and seeing how they interact with the world and their desire to want to go and play and be. It amazed me and actually changed who I was. I was very, I've always been playful, but it changed the way that I actually view the world. So instead of standing up and standing at an adult level, I got down at her level and actually looked at things from her point of view, where she was coming from, what she was seeing, where she was, where her views came from, when you're closer to the earth, you actually get to see the beauty of the flowers. So, it was little things like that. It was also seeing the way that she saw adults, because she was looking up at it instead of looking them dead in the eye. So when you're looking at people from a different perspective, you have a different take on that person. So it gives you, Brenda was talking when I came on about patience. It gives you a lot of patience. It puts you through the ringer. She had multiple surgeries in when she was first diagnosed. Before she went into remission, she had 13 surgeries. One of them was an 18-hour long surgery that was only supposed to be 4 hours. You learn patience. You have to go and deal with what comes to you and how you perceive those moments and how you change who you are through those moments becomes huge. But more than anything else, through my experiences, I changed the way that I look at the world. I don't look at them through the same glasses that I used to. I have taken more childlike approach. I will sit down on the floor and I will play with kids and I will be around them because their perspective is so new that they haven't been tainted by the world. And I think that is just so amazing, because the world is such a cruel place and so many people are tainted by the things that are surrounding them. To have that outlook on life is amazing to me. So that's what changed for me.
Wow. Maude, right now, people that are connected to this video all over the world, somebody out there is going through a tough situation. Somebody out there is going through a terrible condition at the moment. I have a friend in the US that every time she talks to me, she tells me about one pain or the other that she goes through. And every time I speak with her, my heart breaks because I feel the pain. I try to, understand what she's going through. So I want you in just few seconds, Maude, I want you to say something to somebody out there who is going through a tough situation, a bitter situation, a terrible condition at the moment. What do you have to say to that person?
Take life 5 minutes at a time. You can change the next 5 minutes, but you cannot change the rest of your day unless you change those 5 minutes. That is the best advice that I've ever been given. If you change 5 minutes, you can change the rest of your day, and you're not wasting a whole day. If you look at seconds or minutes or things along those lines, you change your whole day. You change the outlook on everything. If you dwell on what's going on, you can't change the future. So change the next 5 minutes.
It's very good advice.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Maude. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Sara, I love your smile, Sara.
It's my superpower.
She has many superpowers.
Thank you so much, Sara, for coming for the program. You were with us yesterday and you are here today. I really appreciate you. Okay. Before I get to ask you one or two things, just give me some time. Let me talk to Jessica. So, Jessica, how do you grow? As in your situation with your experience and your situation, what's your growth? Intentional growth. How?
Each day I set an intentional day. I set my focus actually the night before. So each day I plan for the next day. And of course, like Maude is saying, like, take life 5 minutes at a time, right? Like, I could have a specific order, how I like to do things, but, you never know what's going to happen in life. So you just have to kind of set, like, specific areas of your life that are most important to you, your values, and maybe have 3 actions in each of those areas. Maybe when you're starting out, it's just 1 action. Like if your spiritual connection, whatever your beliefs are. I know there's probably different beliefs in this group that's listening right now, but like this morning, I got up and I prayed, right? Me reading the Bible every day, listening to a Bible study every day, me writing gratitudes every day, writing I am statements. I'm someone who suffered with confidence. Like I was a very shy child. So to be speaking on a camera, on the internet, right, is not what I would have been doing when I was a child, right? I would have shied away from that. But I made a decision, to recreate who I was from going from high school to college. Because when you go from high school to college in the United States, I don't know what it's like there for you, or in different parts of the world that might be listening, but new groups of people that didn't know me for all my life, right? You've got the same kids going from elementary school, middle school, high school, all together. Going to college is a new place. You have new groups of people. And so I could create who I wanted to be, who I wanted to become from there. And so interesting that we're speaking about this Become the Best You event, right? Because I didn't think about it then, but I was becoming the best me, little by little, 5 minutes at a time, right? 1 day at a time, 1 second at a time. And so yeah, it starts with my daily planning and just those core areas that are important to me. The first one is spiritual connection. Next is vibrant health, family focus, time and financial freedom, making a contribution, fun, joy, and laughter. So I literally will go in my backyard and swing on the swing set. I literally will dance. I know it's just some of those things, like having that childlike wonder and having fun in my day. Love, kindness, appreciation of self and others, personal growth. So I read books. I set myself 10 pages a day. I listen to audios. I listen to YouTube and different things. And then next is neat, orderly, and organized. So me cleaning the kitchen, doing laundry, whatever those things are, right? Making my bed. I make my bed every day. Making your bed will change your life. It sounds small, but there are speakers that talk about just literally making your bed and how it changes your life. They teach you that in the military, but so yeah, those are some of the things that I do every day.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you for that. Sara, talk to me. What do you do? What do you do to become better?
So I draw on my experience with actually death and dying. I'm a surviving sibling. My older brother, Robert, rest his soul, choked to death the day after my 21st birthday. And so I think about how he was my biggest cheerleader. And anytime I struggled, he said, Sara, you are my little sister who has done anything she ever set her mind to. So quit complaining and just do it. So I draw on that. I also draw on my late mother and her love and support and belief that I should be able to conquer the world and be president and become Wonder Woman. And so that really gives me a lot of inner peace and focus and intention. I also do a success list every night before I go to bed, or at least I try to every night. And one of those, and that's about writing a list of the things that you did. And sometimes that's getting out of bed and taking a shower. Sometimes that's giving a wonderful presentation like this, but it's really setting your mind up for success. Oh, whoops, I got a kitty cat there. About really changing your mind frame from, oh gosh, what if this doesn't work, to I'm awesome and amazing and wonderful, and this absolutely will work. And really having that great intention right before you go to bed or doing it in the morning. I also do a lot of journaling. I really love the morning pages exercise. I tend to do mine in the evening, but it's about just writing 3 pages, and it's clearing the gunk in your brain. And it's really just embracing who you are and helping to clarify your goals. So that's a lot of what I do. And I also have both a planner. I have a calendar on my phone and just a planner that I like to be intentional about. What does my day look like? And I'm a big believer in, for me, I have ADD, so I have to start with something really fun. So sometimes that's checking Facebook, sometimes that's playing a little game on my phone, but it's really doing something that makes me excited and really happy for the day. So that way I can tackle some of those not so pleasant tasks of paperwork and other things. So those are the things I like to do. And then once a month, I check in with myself. How am I doing? If I were an employee somewhere and I was talking with my boss or supervisor, how am I doing on those intentions and those goals? And am I really excited about the things I'm doing? I also focus on, where is my time going? Time is one of our most valuable resources. So use it wisely and well. I've stopped putting a lot of effort into projects and people that don't inspire me or make my heart sing or really make me excited and bring something, add value to my life, because life is too short, and too often we feel like we have to do something, or we have to go to a meeting, or we have to do things. Well, as entrepreneurs, we get to decide, hey, I don't have to do that just because other people are. Let's create this life plan that works for us and for me. Those are some of the things that I do, try to do every day, and check in with myself and really just be kind to myself that this is a process, and it's okay if I stumble a bit, and that's okay.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sara. That's interesting. Okay. Thank you so much. and I really appreciate it. Brenda, you are a speaker with a difference. You are making so much impact, and you have gone far. So I want to ask you this question: what is it that works for you? What is it that works for you?
Well, I have done sales most of my life. So the first thing I tell people when I talk about selling or sales training is you have to believe. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can do it. And then you have to deliver that. So when I say it's just not enough to believe it, you got to show up. You got to show to yourself that you can do it. And then when you do that, others will have the confidence in you that you can do it. So when you're speaking, you don't necessarily have to have a story. Not everybody has this wonderful or sad or traumatic time frame that they've went through in their life, but you can still make a difference just through your own experiences working with people. But first, you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, how are you going to get others on board? So for me, I struggled in high school myself with low self-esteem and just many things that nobody would have ever guessed that I struggled with, because I hid it. I hid it very well. I presumed that I was outgoing. In reality, I hated it. I don't so much anymore, but I would step up and be a person that I wasn't, and I needed to change that about myself. I needed to be the person who I wanted to be instead of the person that somebody else wanted me to be. So once you realize who you are and your purpose in life, then you can start with other things. And so for me, I'm a firm believer in prayer. I study the Bible and I try to apply it to my life. I try to treat others how I might would expect to be treated, and then I try to do for others how others have also done for me. Because without other people helping me in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I want to pay that forward, because we all need help. I don't care who we are. I don't care how much money you make. You need help in something that you're doing. So I keep a notebook with me. I write everything in it. It's not journaling. It's just a bunch of notes. And I can go back and say, okay, what did I do with this person that day? And I can make a list for the next day and just get out of my mind what is going on in that crazy head, because sometimes my mind is a mess and I wouldn't want to be in it. So I try to get that out and put it on paper so I can kind of organize what the next day or two is going to look like. And I really I don't go past the next day or two in my life. Now I do for conferences and things that you have to plan for. Okay. Christmases and whatever you're doing with your family. I don't wait till last minute on that. But as far as my day-to-day life, I take it 1 to 2 days at a time, because if I look at it much further than that, then I say, I can't do that. That's too much. It's too overwhelming. So 1 to 2 days at a time. And then I don't make my list so long that I can't complete them. Because let's face it, you can make a list. I got a honeydew list that can be 100 things a day, but then I'm going to stress myself out because I can't ever get it done. So then it just goes on to the next list and the next list and the next list. So I don't do to-do lists. I do lists that are in my head of what I need to do. And then I cut it off. I only make it so that it can be done.
Hey, that is raw. That is powerful. That is awesome. Wow. See, very quickly, before I move to Maude, before I ask Maude a question, please, Brenda, I need to ask you two things. One, you said here just now that you don't plan beyond 2 or 3 days. You don't plan beyond 2 or 3 days. And I used to beat myself because I feel that I'm not a long-term planner. So, and with all the information I have and the knowledge I have, so I feel that because I'm not a long-term planner, I feel it's affecting me. I feel even recently, this January, I was thinking about it that I need to plan more for the long term. So, but now you've just made this statement and it really touched me so much. So you are saying that one can focus on the short time to improve himself, to do things and stuff like that?
Yes. And a lot of people, they plan these humongous big steps. And I use the ladder analogy a lot because if you're trying to climb a ladder, everyone wants to climb this ladder of success. And I tell people, don't do that. Don't climb somebody else's ladder, climb your own ladder, right? But if you're reaching for these big steps, you have a hard time pulling yourself up. But if you reach for these smaller steps, they're easy to do. And before you know it, you're going to beat yourself because you've taken these small steps that get you there quicker than these humongous steps that you're wasting your time on. So break that big step down into steps. Make that huge stairway little tiny steps that you can sit on and take a break and use the next step to forward, and to keep moving yourself forward. But with me, I can plan long term, and I do, because there are things, let's face it, that you have to plan long term for. But for my everyday stuff, I only take it 1 to 2 days at a time.
Wow. That's good. Then finally, for now, you said something about selling. And I noticed that some of the top speakers or best speakers in the US have experience in selling. They used to sell one thing or the other, and then before they became what they are. So I want to ask you, if somebody is not good at selling or marketing that stuff, does it mean that he cannot become the best?
Yeah, we all have different gifts. So no, everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. I just have a background in sales. It was something that I was kind of forced into, and then I found out that I liked it. So I just went with what I like. So if you don't like sales, please don't be in sales, because you're not going to do a good job at it. But you are good at something, and when you are good at that, you'll be able to sell yourself. You won't have to market it and do it. If you're good at it, people are going to recognize that in you, and it's just going to sell itself. But we all are some type of a salesperson in everything that we do. If you write a book, you're going to try to sell it. Every time you make a post on social media, you are selling whatever it is that's in that post. When you have a relationship with friends and families and in your circle of people, you're communicating, you're selling whatever it is that you do, if you realize it or not. And then the biggest thing that I can tell you with if you do sales or not, or whatever it is you're doing, is surround yourself with better people. Surround yourself with people that are going to influence you, that are going to encourage you, because let's face it, you can get influenced badly too. Matter of fact, that happened to me, and it put me somewhere I didn't want to be. But at the same time, get with people that are going to lift you up, not bring you down. And sometimes your family are the worst ones. You still love them, you still have that relationship with them, but you don't have to include them in everything that you do. You don't have to share your hopes and dreams with the world, but you do have a connection with people that are going to help you do that. And that's the people you want to be around, because it is possible to outgrow your circle. And that's okay, because that means you've grown, they have not. So you don't want to be stuck in a circle that you've outgrown. So go find a different circle. That's what I tell people.
Wow, thank you so much, Brenda. Thank you so much. And let me say that Brenda is my family. She has been wonderful to me. Yeah. In fact, I remember the first time an American designed for me, it was through the help of Brenda. In fact, she has done so many things that I can't even talk about them. She's such a wonderful person, and I'm glad to have you in my inner circle. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be there. I'm glad to be there. And anytime I can help, if I have the resources and the connections, then I try to use that to help others. And when you make things about money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And if you do it for the right reasons, then the money will come.
True. That's powerful. That's powerful. Maude, tell us something. The year 2021 just passed. We are in a new year. What did you learn from 2021? What's the major lesson that you learned, and how can we use that in growing intentionally? Something like that.
Well, in 2021, I learned that I am bigger than what I actually thought I was. Brenda was actually one of the people that actually started that, because before 2021, I really didn't think that my story had merit. My story had any draw anyone that would actually want to sit down and listen. You know, I mean, losing a child is something that people don't talk about. They also don't take something positive from it. Most of the time, they wallow in themselves. I've always been the opposite. I sit there and I look at something and say, well, you know what? I can make this better. You know, and my daughter was the same way. So I try and live not only through what she taught me, but also what I learned. So in 2021, I actually learned that story, what I had actually learned about myself, could actually help others. So 2022, apparently, I'm going to be doing a lot more speaking, thanks to Brenda. But also embracing part of who I am that I don't necessarily let out. I don't share with people. I don't tell people about what I think or what I feel. I mean, I've been writing, and I spoke quite a bit after she passed away, but I had a bad experience and I didn't really want to go and get out in front of people anymore because of 3 people who made a comment about my daughter that hurt beyond words. And it was kind of one of those things that I was like, okay, well, I'm never doing this again. I don't trust people. I don't know how they're going to react to my story. And as I learned in the last year, it doesn't matter how somebody else reacts to my story. It's how I react to my story. It's how I react to who I am and what I am. If I don't embrace who I am, then no one else will embrace who I am. So trying to just become a better me.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Did you ask a question?
I didn't ask a question. I did answer the question. But yes, 2021 was learning about who I am and what I am, and then actually trying to move that forward and into the future. So.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Maude. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you so much for that. Now, Jessica, you are an author, right?
Yes, that is correct.
How many books have you published?
I have one that's published and working on my second.
Okay. What's your when was your book published? When?
I finished writing it in 2016, and then it was published, I believe, in 2018, 2019, maybe 2020. I don't know. I've lost track of time. I feel like the world pandemic has like completely taken away some time relatively, stuff with me. So I literally feel like a year and a half like felt like 5 years. So there's like time kind of stopped, I feel like a little bit. So I don't know. There's just been a lot of things. Maude was talking about, it's just kind of that taking tragedies and turning them into, helping people and sharing your story and things like that. And I feel like there was a couple of losses in our family that, for me, like it's just turning, lessons in 2020, 21, just have helped me kind of just with all of that. So yeah, I couldn't tell you the exact time frame on that, but it's on Amazon, so you can find it on Amazon. It's on my website.
Okay. Now I want to ask you, Jessica, what's your experience with writing, and how has it helped you to grow?
Well, it's interesting because if you'd asked me if I wanted to write a book and I would be an author, I probably would have told you no, because I really do not enjoy writing. Most of my book I wrote while I was exercising. So I would be on the track at the gym inside walking, and thoughts would come to me. Those chemicals in your brain start to, get fired up whenever you're exercising. And so I would get ideas as I was walking and exercising. So like the elliptical or the treadmill or walking in a circle on a track. And so most of my book I would write while I was doing that. When I actually came to sit down at a computer, the blocks would come. The writer's block is what they call it. Those blocks would come. And so I'm not the traditional writer who's sitting at a computer and typing my book out. Like I'm actually working on edits. My first publisher actually went out of business. And so I'm actually working on, when you asked how many books I've written, I'm actually working on revamping that book and re-releasing it, so that I can, so it can be self-published. And so I like sat down on the computer to do that. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to sit down on the computer to do that. So I've been trying to find ways to do it on my phone so that I can do it when I'm on the elliptical or in movement. So I like to do things in movement. Maybe that's anxiety, maybe it's ADD. I don't know what you call it. It's like, in terms, but I just feel like I get a lot of energy when I'm moving. And so ideas come to me then.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Jessica. That's truly interesting. Yeah.
But I just want to say real quick, Brenda is just amazing. I want to go back to that because she was talking about, helping other people get to where she's been. I just want to say huge kudos to Brenda and thank you. I mean, like I said, wrote that book. I finished it in 2016, right before my daughter was born. And then the publisher went out of business. And I kind of just it's in the, I kind of just put it to the back burner. And Brenda and I met and she's like, we need to get you speaking at this event. We need to have you talk about your book. And I'm like, I haven't talked about this thing in years. Right. And I kind of, I don't know if it's that belief, right? Or if it's just that thing that I kind of just put to the side. But I feel like if it wasn't for Brenda, I wouldn't be here today. I mean, honestly, we wouldn't be here today, right? Because of Brenda, we're here today meeting you. We're meeting this group, the people that are listening to this, and this event's going to be amazing. And I'm so grateful for Brenda. So thank you,
That's
Brenda.
because you guys are in my circle.
Yes. Thanks for being
all of you are in my circle.
And letting me be in your circle, Brenda.
And you help people in your circle. And, I know that these guys would help me as well. So, and they already have in more ways than they even know. Sara is basically coming to this event, paying most of her own expenses because she wants to see people become a better version of themselves. I'm working with Jessica with a company called Viseo. She's helping me get healthier. We bounce ideas off of each other. And then Maude, man, she's my rock. She is my go-to for my tech problems and how do I, what do we, she's just there for me. And that's who you want to surround yourself with, but you also have to return it. You can't just take, you got to give. So, I encourage if you guys have a product, get it out there, get it with your circle. And if they don't believe in it, then that's fine. Move on to the next one. Not everybody's going to want to help you sell your book or help you do what you do, but there are some that will. And then you help them. I told Sara, bring me a copy of your book to the conference and then bring books to sell. That's what we want to do. We want to get them out there too. So, and, I don't know how it works in Africa, but people are still people. We are still people. Yeah. It doesn't matter where we live. We still have the same emotions. We still have the same thoughts. And, love is love. Joy is joy. Sadness is sadness, no matter where you are in the world. So it just help out others, be there for people.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Brenda. I'm an author of 29 books. I'm self-published, actually. Self-publisher, something like that. And I've authored 29 books. So
I saw that on your thing. Yes.
Thank you. Brenda is truly a blessing. Thank you, Jessica, for that. Now, though Brenda has already gotten into the question I wanted to ask Sara, but it's a question in my spirit, and I don't know if you can be able to just say a little thing about it. It's about relationship. Sara, I just wanted to tell us something about relationship, because without relationship, you cannot grow. You need relationship to grow. And for any relationship to work, both parties has to be willing to give, okay? But what we find today is that in most relationships, people want to take, but they are not willing to give. So what do you have to say about that, Sara?
So relationships are a two-way street. And if you don't like yourself deep down, I'm talking 10 levels deep, it's really hard to then be in a space of generosity and giving to someone else. And so sometimes that is at the root of why people struggle with also making that time, I think, because they may also be insecure about who they are. I also believe that the best relationships in the world are with people who are willing to show up, to get dirty, to have tough, awkward conversations. And that's where the best relationships come from. So it also takes both people being willing to do that. And sometimes people are givers and they become resentful because they give and give and give, and someone takes and takes and takes. So I like to view relationships as a dance. Someone makes a move, the other person makes the counter move, and it should be this dance between two people. If one person is always leading or is always making a move and the other person is not, it's not a dance and it's not a relationship. It's a one-sided relationship, and that's not a relationship. That's one person sharing and opening and the other person retreating, withdrawing. Now, sometimes there's a lot of history as to why that happens, and sometimes it's just that people forget, they want a quick fix and forget that relationships are hard work. I just talked to my friend last night who had been with for 28 years. So we've been friends for decades. And one of the reasons why we have is we don't have to talk every day or every week or every month. But the moment one of us reaches out, the other person makes themselves available to continue that friendship and that relationship. So it's really about, if you care about the relationships you're in, you're going to want to give back and be all in those relationships. And sometimes people just don't. Not that they have anything against that person, but they're just not willing to make that commitment. And all relationships take hard work. I'm not married, but I work with a lot of married and divorced parents and couples. And one of the things that I hear is that I didn't feel heard or listened to, where I felt like I was the only one in this. So it's really about making that active intention about who you want to invest in. And it's also for that person that feels like they're just giving. It's okay. Have permission to walk away if someone is not treating you well. I always advocate having a conversation if you care about the relationship and not just walking away. But at the end of the day, it's okay to say goodbye. I have to do that with some of my family. I haven't disowned them, but I have withdrawn the amount of effort and investment I'm going to make because it was not a two-way street. So that's why I say invest in people that you love and care about and make sure they know you're investing. If you're not, take note of that and do some work and reflection about how you can improve that if you care about that relationship. And sometimes we outgrow friendships, we outgrow people, and that's okay. That you deserve to be happy, be in relationships with people that are going to lift you up and that you can talk to them and they won't shy away, they won't shame you, they won't do any of that, they'll be there. And sometimes we trust the wrong people, and that's okay. So it's also about giving yourself permission to be wrong about some people and still opening up your heart to continue. And I like, when I work with people who are newly divorced, I like to have them come up with their list of what they want in a relationship and what are their deal breakers and what are their absolutes they need in relationships. And if someone's not giving that to you, and you would talk with them about it, like I said before, it's okay to walk away and surround yourself, devote your time and dedication to people that can do that for you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for that. Brenda, in few minutes, I want you to say something. What do you do when you find yourself in a relationship where the other party is not tolerant, is not patient, it's not willing to allow you grow, it's not helping you? What do you do when you find yourself in such a relationship?
You gracefully back out. Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But
You
but but
don't have
but
to be negative or hateful, or and you don't have to give them reasons as to why they should support you. You don't have to explain yourself, and you don't need their acceptance. That's it right there. You don't need that negativity. You don't need what they're bringing to the table, because it's just going to bring you down. You can still love them.
Brenda,
You can still celebrate with them.
that might just be the quick solution, but it may not be a lasting solution. Because when you find yourself in a relationship and then maybe that relationship didn't work out and you back out and you go to another relationship, that person comes also with his own baggages, with his own lot of things. And maybe you're also going to back out and then you go into another relationship and you keep backing out of
Well, you
relationships.
can't back out of everything. Right. But see, that's where you have to surround yourself with better people. If you keep going back to the same type of a relationship, then the problem lies with you. So if you can't see that in people, then maybe you need to reflect on yourself as to, why am I attracting these type of people, and why am I drawn to that? And some people will be drawn to that type of a person because they don't believe in themselves. So they feel that they're maybe a step above this person. So they're going to go hang out in that group where they feel like people are going to look up to them. And in reality, that's not true. So sometimes you have to look at yourself, and you have to believe in yourself. And once you do that, the right people will come to you. There's all, you can't choose your family, and you've always got some people in there that are just not going to be negative. I still celebrate with them. I see them Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, whenever, talk to them on Facebook, on the phone, but they're not involved in my life on a daily basis. Their opinion to me just does not matter anymore. Because at the time when it did matter and I was giving them myself, they didn't care enough to see that about me. So therefore, I needed to remove myself from the situation. And when you do that a couple of times, you're going to know which people to go to and which people not to, through the experience that you've already had. So no, you're not going to keep going to person after person after person like that, because if you are, you haven't learned your own lesson. And there's still a lesson to be taught. But once you learn that lesson, you won't do that anymore. You're going to recognize it the first time that hand is out. You're going to say, oh, this one's not in my circle. That hand's out. That's okay. But they're also returning it to you. That's the relationship that you want. A relationship is a two-way street. The phone works both ways. The highway goes both ways. And if they can't make it, if you're the one doing all the calling, if you're the one doing all the reaching out, then quit wasting your time, because they don't value your time, and then they don't value you.
Please, before I let you go on that, there's something you said there that you need to ask yourself, why am I getting into these kind of relationships? And sometimes you have to really ask yourself. So please, I want you to deal on that. I want you to deal on that, because this program is intentional growth. And sometimes we always look at the second party, or the next person has the problem. But the real problem is with us, with me. If I can work on myself, then I can be better. If I can work on myself, then people can be able to flow with me. But when I'm not working on myself, when I'm coming with wrong character, wrong attitudes, wrong emotions, then I repel, people and cause issues. So how can I work on myself, or have a self-thinking or something like that? I just want you to say some things about that point. Hello, Brenda. Is the network off? Oh my God.
She might, no, she might have frozen.
She might have frozen. We're here though.
We're
Okay.
still here though. I was like, it seems like
she left. That's what it's like to leave the conversation. I'm just kidding.
So Jessica, can you say something about that?
It's interesting because there's a book called Boundaries. I'm not the author of it, but it's a really good book.
Wow.
Boundaries is a really good book. I've even gone to a class called Boundaries, but I feel like boundaries are something too in relationships. It's really important. And there's healthy boundaries and there's not healthy boundaries, right? So you're setting boundaries and someone continues to be offensive in some way or like go across those boundaries that you've set, that's when you have a chance to let them know that that's just not okay with you, right? I'm just going to give an example. And so, I remember I took this boundaries class and I tried to set some boundaries with a few people, and I just had to step away from that. Like I stopped drinking alcohol with the shutdown of the pandemic. That was something that was very difficult because I started looking around and I'm like, okay, I know these people, and we hang out. And what do we do? What do we do when we hang out? We drink. So not excessively, but just it's part of what we do. Like when we go out and do something, it involves food and drinking. And I was focused on my health. And so I got into the best physical, mental, spiritual health that I could possibly get into during the pandemic. I saw people going the opposite way, right? Like they're listening to the news, the negativity, politics, all the stuff on social media. And they started going down a deep, dark hole and getting depressed and all these things. And myself, I decided that I was going to use that time to start to focus on personal care, start to focus on what I was putting into my mind, what I was listening to, what I was putting into my body, food wise, drinks wise, all of that. And so, then maybe that's some of the things that we were talking about, relationships. Like sometimes the relationships, you outgrow the circle that you've been a part of for a long time. And, you're being called to a different group of friends, different group of family, and people who are, you don't have to agree with everybody, but there are times when I realize that there are people that I'm just not going to ever agree with. And so I've had to set some boundaries on what is okay for conversations going forward and what things, like people don't talk about politics. Like there's a reason, because it's going to kind of probably always create a battle, right? And I don't choose to get into battles with people. Like there was a reason why I didn't go to law school, right? And so I just feel like we have to, be in relationships with people that are serving us and ways that we can serve others. And so sometimes you may be mentoring somebody else in that relationship, but you may also be a point where someone's mentoring you. And so everybody's going to bring something different to the table, per se. Yeah. And so there's times when you're going to be helping lead somebody, and there's times you're going to be led. And so I think sometimes we forget that we're leaders too. This was something that has been, in my personal growth the last 10 years. Like I finally was like, oh, I'm a leader. Like I didn't realize it. But even when we talk about, Maude, about kids, like I look at my two daughters and I'm like, my gosh, like I'm showing them a whole different world than I grew up in, a whole different world. Right. And I can show them, how to be happy, healthy, kind every day. Right. And it's already creating such a difference in our family, for health reasons. Right. Obesity is not, genetic. Let me just say that it's not genetic. Like you could choose what you put in your mouth, what you eat, what you drink, right? How much activity you get. And, obesity in the United States, I don't know what it's like there in Africa, but it's a huge problem in kids. And diabetes is another thing that people suffer with that too. And so there's some of these things that are so important. And relationships are important because we were created for relationship. We weren't created to be in our houses, quarantined from everybody for the rest of our lives. Like we need relationships to grow. And each person, I just saw this on my phone, is special to someone. So, if you're not being loved, if you're not being celebrated, then go to where you're celebrated and where you're loved. Because there are people out there wanting to, celebrate who you are, not tear you down. And I think I've, especially grown in that too, because there are places where I was not celebrated, where life was not spoken into me. And so I started surrounding myself with people who were speaking life into me and who were celebrating me. And, and I could do that in return for them too.
Wow. Hey, this is powerful. My friends, did you hear that? Those of you watching and those that are going to watch the replay, did you hear what she just said? You've got to be in a place where people are speaking life into you. So if you are going to grow intentionally, you have to allow people speak life into you, speak positive words into you, speak words that will help you to grow, that will help you to become a better person. And you too have to be speaking words into others to help them grow. Don't always see negative things about people. You also need to see positive things about people. Don't always talk about the evil of others. Also talk about the potential of others, what they are capable of, what they can become. I think that's a very powerful point that Jessica just made there. Thank you so much, Jessica, for that. Now, as we begin to wrap up this program, we are wrapping up. We have just few seconds to go, a few minutes to go. Maude, I want you to tell us, I don't know if you are comfortable with this, but I just wanted to share with us in like 1 minute, what are some of your goals in becoming better this year, 2022?
Actually, I'm trying to embrace my passions. That's my goal for 2022. I haven't done it in the past. Normally I do what everybody else thinks that I should be doing. So I'm trying to focus more inward instead of outward. There's a lot of people that look at me and go, oh, well, it's great that you do, such and such. Can you do this for me? Well, then, yes, it's something that I do and I have the ability to do, but it's not my passion. So my 2022 goal is to actually do things that are my passion, things that I'm passionate about, embrace who I am and what I do. So embrace that creativity.
Wow, thank you very much, Maude, for that. Now, Sara, in 1 minute, I want you to say something to those that are watching. We have people that are watching. Yesterday, somebody told me from Australia, she watched the program from Australia. Another person from Zambia, a lady from Zambia, she talked to me yesterday to tell me that she enjoyed the program so much, and she is sending her greetings to every one of you. Her name is Anissa, and she's one of my friends from Zambia. She's sending her greetings to every one of you. So there are people watching from Kenya and from other parts of the world. So every one of you that are still here now, you are going to, in 1 minute, say something to these people that are watching. Yeah. So let's start with Sara.
So I would say my best advice I can give you is to love your life story fully, completely. Love yourself inside and out. And if you don't love yourself inside and out, there are people just standing by that would love to help you have the life that you are born to have, the life that you deserve to have, that you are worthy of love, compassion, having the best life that gets you so excited every single day. And it doesn't matter where you've come from. And to also remember that silence kills, that quit trying to be polite and kind and instead be compassionate and set clear boundaries and stand up for yourself, and quit negotiating with terrorists, meaning honor who you are. You have a voice and use it. So that's my best advice. And then find a way to play and experience joy every single day.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really love that. I really love that. Thank you, Sara, for that. Maude, yes, tell us.
I think my best advice would be to go out there, not only be you and embrace who you are, which is what Sara was saying, but also go out there and change your perspective. If you're stuck in a spot, go out, change your perspective, change who you are, change your viewpoint, make a difference in that moment, because it can change your moments and somebody else's moments. So if you change your viewpoint, you're changing everything. So yeah, that would be my advice to everybody.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Jessica, what's your message to those watching all over the world?
It's 2022. Live your best life. You have a choice right now. You can make the decision, you know, at the end of 2022, will you look back and say, man, I wish I would have. Oh, wow, I wish I could have done that. So don't do the coulda, woulda, shoulda. Like, just take action today towards your dreams, and know that I may not know you. I may not see you on here. You may not even be listening right now. You might be listening to the recording, but I believe in you. Whatever your dreams are, I believe in you. You don't need to believe in yourself yet. It doesn't matter if you do or not. We believe in you. I believe in you. And you deserve your dreams. Like, you were given those dreams for a purpose. And I believe it's your calling. Like, if you don't act on those, like, those things will go to someone else. Like, those dreams will go to someone else, and it'll keep going around until someone takes action on that. So if you're given an idea for a new business, given an idea for a book, I remember my book title, Love Life, Be Life, Share Life. I remember getting that because I was like, I need a title for this. And I was like going around with trying to figure out titles. And I feel like you have inside of you what you need for your dreams. Like, you have been given gifts that no one has exactly like you. Your superpower. Sara has different superpowers than I have. Maude has different superpowers than I have. The Prince has different superpowers than I have. We all have different superpowers. We were all created individually, uniquely, and you have gifts in you. So don't let anybody stomp those dreams. Just keep living your best life and creating the life that you want, because you're only one decision away. Like Maude was saying, 5 minutes, take 5 minutes at a time. You know, you don't have to have everything done, know all the steps right now. Like, just take one step, one action today that is getting you closer to that dream.
Wow, wow, wow. That is powerful. Jessica, thank you so much for that. Every one of you, I truly appreciate you. And our audience all over the world, from Africa, from Kenya, from Ghana, from South Africa, from London, they are all saying I should tell you that you are the best. Thank you so much, speakers, for coming and for taking out time out of your busy schedule to speak to us and to be a blessing to us. We are so grateful. And to those of you that will watch the replay, I want you to know that these words that you have heard from these amazing speakers, they are real, they are true. People tell me sometimes that, oh, why are you doing motivational program, motivational conference? It's not interesting. Do something interesting. And that's what people like. They want something that will make them laugh, something that's funny, whatever. But let me tell you, life is not just all about that. When I hear these speakers speak, it moves me. It gives me the greatest joy. In fact, I feel as if I'm in heaven. And so that's why I love doing it. And I wish I can do it every day. So I'm so grateful to God for giving me this opportunity. And I also thank my speakers for coming. So I want to say to you today, those that are watching and those that will watch the replay, this is a new year. You have a responsibility for yourself. Nobody is going to change you for you. You've got to change you for yourself. You've got to become better for yourself. You see, when you are better, you enjoy your life more. I love what Jessica said, that she overcame drinking or alcohol, something like that, right? She said she overcame alcohol. That was a great testimony. You can also overcome that habit, that lifestyle, that negativity, that negative character. You can also overcome it. And when you overcome it, you become a testimony to others. You become a good example to others. You become a positive reference to others. See, let me tell you, this year, you are going to be a positive reference that people will refer to, that people will look up to, that people will want to become. We love you so much. That's why we've come. That's why these people have made this sacrifice. Some of them, it's early in the morning in their country, but they made the sacrifice to come and speak to you because we love you. My audience, thank you so much for watching, and may God bless you. So we've come to the end of the program. Maybe if we can just say just one last word, everybody.
Well,
Let's start with Maude.
Here in Kansas City, it's 11:11. So I feel like right now is like the absolute best time to just say thank you, everyone. It was so great to be with you. Thanks for the opportunity, Prince and Brenda, Sara, Maude, you're amazing. Thank you. It was nice to see everybody. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maude,
Thank you for inviting me. It was really great being able to speak with you today. And Jessica, Sara, so good to talk to you. Always great to see Brenda. And to Prince, thank you very much for inviting us to speak. It was truly inspirational. I love listening to these ladies speak. I've done it a couple of times and definitely inspirational. I hope everybody gets something out of this.
Amen, amen. Thank you so much, Maude. Sara.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I always love to share wisdom with such fabulous ladies. It's so great to see them. I know Brenda put some stuff in the comments about the upcoming conference we'll all be presenting at. Thank you so much for this and all the people standing by. It's a thrill to have people from all sorts of countries all over the world tuning in. I love to share love with the world. So thank you so much. Jessica, you were great. Maude, Brenda. So thank you so much. Hopefully we'll be able to do this in the future again, and feel very grateful to be here today.
Wow, thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming. And I want to request that Maude, Jessica and Sara, please help us to share the link for the Facebook link and the YouTube link. Share it on your social media handles so that other people can get to experience this, to watch this, and to be blessed by it. Thank you once again for coming. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Maude. Thank you, Sara. And thank you, Brenda, for making this possible. She was kicked out by the network, but I know right where she is so grateful, and we are also grateful to her. May God bless every one of you. And so till we come your way again, we want to say it's the end of the program for today. New Beginning Conference. As you go on, it's a new beginning. Go on, live your life, enjoy your life, be the best, and be what God has created you to be. This year is going to be your best year ever. This year, doors are going to open for you. Favor is going to come to you. In fact, you are going to be richer this year. I believe that positive things are going to happen for you. New opportunities will be given to you this year. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much, and bye.
Bye.